Should you trust Ethan Hunt one last time in the latest Mission Impossible? Well, I ended up trusting him one last time, and let me tell you, it was both worth it, but at the same time not. The movie started out not so great, but let me tell you one thing, it ended out with a bang. So let's start off with what I didn't like as much with the movie. The first hour of the movie felt really boring. I couldn't put my finger on it when I was watching the movie, but very quickly I realized that the first hour was just a recap of the previous movie. No action, no comedy, just dialogue. And to me that felt really boring. But let me tell you, after that slump, the movie really does get a lot better. The action in this movie is some of the best. Something else I didn't really like about the movie is the lack of espionage and spy themes in this movie. Previous films had clever twists like mask reveals or infiltration scenes like the Burj Khalifa or the infamous Kremlin break-in scene. These scenes leveled up the movie from being just an action movie to being one about secretive spies doing the impossible around the world. And let me just say, the lack of these themes in Final Reckoning really took me out of it. And the settings in the movie didn't help either. There were about 4 to 5 different settings in the movie, and all of them shared one common factor: being isolated. We never saw any crowds, city streets, or big landmarks. Just Ethan, his team, and the villain. I feel like this brought down the stakes of the movie just a little bit. And yes, I do understand that throughout the entire movie, there was the looming fact that there were nuclear missiles about to explode all over the world. But this was mainly just said, and there is no show for this. If there was at least one scene that took place with other people in it, I think it could have raised the stakes for this movie even more than it already was. Okay, that's all I have to say that I didn't really like. Let's talk about what I did like, and what they did spectacularly. The action. The stuff everyone comes to a Mission Impossible movie for, to see the impossible become possible. And let me tell you, they really done convince me that this time it might be impossible. Because every time I thought it couldn't get any more impossible, I got proved wrong. First off, the submarine scene. Every time you thought it couldn't get crazier or worse for Ethan, it gets a whole lot worse. Like there were live nukes falling off of their racks that Ethan had to dodge. Not to mention the entire sub was unstable. Then he had to take off his wetsuit, and to make it worse, he needed to take off his oxygen mask, all while gripping on to the fate of the planet. And don't even get me started on the fact that he's taking off his wetsuit in Arctic waters. Man must have been freezing. And it gets even crazier as Ethan Hunt starts jumping from plane to plane like in the Penguins of Madagascar. And his grip on those planes had me gripping onto the seats for dear life. That entire sequence was crazy. Not to mention the cuts back to Ethan's team trying to disarm the nukes about to explode the world. All of this combined for sure had my blood pressure rising. And unfortunately, that's where the praise ends. Because at its core, the last Mission Impossible movie is a movie all about the action. But in the process, it forgets about the other aspects that made these previous movies great. The comedy, the espionage, and the big set pieces. So did I do the right thing by trusting Ethan Hunt one last time? Yes, I did. Although the movie wasn't as great as its predecessors, it was a blast to watch and go through a roller coaster of emotions throughout the entire movie. And this is the end of the video, so if you like my review on Final Reckoning, please consider subscribing, and I will see everybody in my next video.